All right.
Because we're so professional every other day.
3, 2, 1, and record.
Hey, Travis.
Yeah.
I'm just wondering, where could I go if I want to share my my not love for Stand Against Evil? Where do I want to show if I want to share my hate for Stand Against Evil?
IFC?
IFC, yeah. I want to make sure that I want everyone to know how much I hate this fucking show. And I go,
Get out of there. That's Evil Nick. You get out of here, Evil Nick. Go. Get out of here. Go. Travis, I cannot believe you didn't recognize him. It's all in the goatee. What the hell?
Actually, that would make a lot of sense because your facial hair is weirdly colored, so I think that would obviously be the evil one.
He had dark-haired goatee, and you know my facial hair comes in red and patchy.
Yeah, it's weird.
I'm God's mistake. So, but, while we're on the subject of evil doppelgangers, if you want to avoid yours, a great place to go and do that is the Stand Against Evil fan page, in which you can just share all your love for Stand Against Evil, and, just show appreciation there. They do, great trivia games over there. I'm not sure if they play rock, paper, scissors, or stabs, but who knows? Maybe ask around. Maybe they do it. I don't know. It's a great place to go hang out. So you can just go to their Facebook page, Stand Against Evil fan page, or you can go to their Twitter at Stand Against Evil fans. And with that out of the way, we're gonna go right into the show. Right, Pod Against Evil time, guys, and oh boy, do we have an episode for you guys.
Do we really, though?
I mean, I feel like it's an amazing episode, and we couldn't do an Evil Doppelganger episode without our own Evil Doppelganger of Les. So Les Weiler, so it's actually more Weiler this time. We have more Weiler on the horn here. More Weiler, how's it going?
Going well, and if I'm doing the math right, I'm a doppelganger for 2 people. That's just a lot of. It's like a 70-hour work week. I don't think union rep's going to be all over you guys.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I would say you have an evil goatee, but let's say actually it's an evil, just drink water mustache.
That's even worse.
I feel like that's what we're. And, speaking of which, if you actually watch See Nate Mooney without that mustache on him, wow, what a handsome guy. Real handsome. That mustache is doing no one any favors.
Sorry, mustaches don't do anyone any favors.
I think we have to kill it. It's dead. It's gone. And we have to lay that facial hair to rest. And Rat Tails, I'm coming after you next. You should have died in the 90s, and you are a mistake. What are we talking about? Facial hair mistakes? Why, it's me, Nick, the Merc with a mic, and my fellow unapologist / Stan fan over here,
Travis,
the god of the pod himself, and of course we've already mentioned him, Les Weiler. Say hi, Les.
Hi, Les.
And of course, Les, TV dude and good die young host, is joining us. And we are doing the episode 7 of season 2 of Stand Against Evil, Mirror Mirror. Wow, this one was a fun one, guys. I gotta say.
I don't think it was as fun as the previous one, but this one was still pretty good.
Well, the previous one, we, spoilers, we record these a little bit out of order, but the previous one was actually Demon Baby.
Oh.
So the previous one was Demon Baby. You're thinking of episode 5, the Drinkwater focused episode.
Now you're getting me all confused.
You see, this is the risk you run when you record out of order.
What year is it?
Like, what? No, you see, we didn't even do time travel yet.
I mean, yeah, we did.
It's so confusing.
Wait.
So, of season 2, I've only watched the ones that I've recorded with you guys. So, I watched episode 5, and then this is episode 7, and so I skipped 6. But this one starts with, like, a full, like, recap. Like, with the previously on standing, like, basically, with just all of this stuff happening, like, am I misremembering? Did all the episodes start with a massive mythology retell? Because
no, I feel fact, this is
I feel like this is the one where they've fully admitted we need to give a backstory here. There's a lot of shit going on.
Yeah, this is the first one to do it, other than the first episode of season 1, Black Hat Society Part 1.
Season 2.
or season 2, I'm sorry. And yeah, so this is the first time they've done it since then, because this is
kind of a plot episode.
It is. It really is dealing with Gerard Duquette, which is our main mystery for the whole season. That's what we've been referencing. It deals with Stan's main goal of going back in time and saving his wife. So this is
I felt like something huge must have happened in episode 6, where I was like, "Oh, Stan! Stan got the plan. Must have got the plan to go back in time to save his wife." Like really going in full force in episode 6 or something. Because I was like, "Man, episode 5, we were getting our groove, but we were still just kind of fucking around in a cozy Monster of the Week pocket."
Well, you'd think that, and it really is just Stan getting the bug up his ass of like, "Oh, I should go talk to what's her name?
I forget.
She's like the head of the Black Hat Society."
Yeah. She was there for the Wraith. I can't remember.
Yeah.
But yeah, the IMDb summary of this episode is Stan summons a spirit to help him travel back into time to save Claire. In the process, an evil replica is created. So yes, when I first saw that description, I was like, yes!
That's exactly what I want.
Evil doppelganger episode. I mean, I don't know if we mentioned it on our list of, sitcom plot go-tos.
It's kind of like one of the top ones.
I think we mentioned body switching.
Yeah.
And we mentioned, Rashomon and all the other, some of the tropes. I don't think we mentioned, evil doppelganger specificim, but yeah, that's a thing.
That is something we wanted.
So I remember when I first, told Les about it, him and me had the same exact thought, which was, is Evil Stan like Evil Cartman from South Park? In which, he's actually really nice.
Right.
Like, he's a really nice guy.
Yeah. It's like when other universe Lex shows up to lead the Justice League, like, "Oh, no, I'm a hero on my Earth." Like, no, that tracks. Yeah.
Everyone's the exact opposite, so I'm the nicest guy in the world.
Right. Like, Stan's all about women's rights and never tells an off-color joke.
And the answer is kinda.
I mean, a little?
Like a little bit. Like we'll go into it more later, but it's real interesting. I'll tell you that right now. So yeah, let's just start it from the beginning. Which, I mean, maybe in one of the other episodes we'll start it from the middle, but from now on we're going to start from the beginning because that's what makes the most sense.
It's called in medias res, Nick. It makes sense.
And in the Rashomon episode we'll start from the middle and then work our way around.
That's fair.
So how's about that? Yeah, but
fair.
from now we're starting from the beginning. So we start off with a traditional flashback. Love these flashbacks. After, of course, our previously on Stand Against Evil. We see... what's it? If it's a
farmer.
Farmer, yes. I forget. Did they show the actual date, like the full date, or did they just say old timey times again?
I don't remember on that one.
I don't know. I just remember it kind of starting from, "Isn't this gross?"
Yeah, it's
or seriously, how gross is this?
This is serious. Like, it's funny. This farmer has a real modern sensibility but he still talks in old timey speak, which is pretty funny. Like, how gross is this? Because he's milking his cow. And he has this great line about how valuable the cow milk is. It's like really gross.
When I think of how much money this milk will fetch at market, it's as if her teats were full of diamonds. I know if my manly bosom could produce diamonds, I would fill bucket after bucket. Precious, precious man-boob diamonds.
Oh, precious, precious man-boob diamonds. And it's like, what is he talking about? Like, it's like this
There's a lot of downtime. There's no TV back then. There's really no radio. There's nothing. I mean, there's just a lot of alone time in front of cow teats, to take a thought 2 or 3 steps further than you should.
Yeah.
It feels like when you have a sleepover in high school or something and you all stay up super late and try and avoid going to bed. So you're all like fighting sleep deprivation and you start to talk about stuff you think is deep, but it's not really.
It's just punchy. Yeah, it's just... Yeah.
Like, it reminds me of some of those conversations that I've had with that or people that are violently high on weed.
Yeah. No, see, I love the next part of this though because like the guy's wife kills him.
Yeah.
And the way he was talking, I was like, yeah, that's a proper reaction for that. She probably just had it one too many times of like, you know what, it's enough of the fucking man boob talk. I'm gonna kill you.
This guy and his fucking diamond milk boob milk. It's like, it's every day with this.
And this moment showed me from the start that the show has turned up the blood amount in their gore to exactly where I want it. Like that problem for me in season 1 is pretty much fixed now, because she whops him with that bucket and a really good splatter of blood comes off him.
Yep.
Like
season 2 has fixed a lot of issues, like we were talking about, more practical effect work, more blood stuff. And
they do it again later where there's just blood running off of a chandelier, where I was like, Jesus.
I was worried about the first episode with that big CGI wraith. I was like, oh shit, I don't like I don't like where this is going. But the whole series up until this point has really impressed me with its practical effect work. And this blood scene is just like, yes, he's got like got a nice hit off of that bucket, got some stank on it. But she turns around and because she hears a scream, and who's screaming? Why, it's her.
It's herself.
It's herself is screaming, and the wife smiles, and an evil smile, and then talks in the kind of demon possessed voice where, it like drops a couple octaves and then has a couple like filters over it, like sort of thing. I actually want to see like an audio tech work to like where like what does he do? Like, is there a specific filter for demon voices?
Probably.
Like, oh yeah, here's the demon voice.
I'll press this button for demon filter voice.
No, that's demon possession. That's different. This is a demon doppelganger.
And don't mix that up with phone call.
Man, we'll get there. Yeah. Yes, we'll get the phone call voice coming back. So yeah, once you see that, you're like, oh, I'm in for the evil doppelganger episode. This is great. I'm into it. So we come out to modern day, which the Chiron goes, well, not today specifically, but like around. I love these Chirons, like these subtitles of telling us what the daytimes were. Like in the earlier episodes, there was one of my favorites was I forget which one it was, but it was like something like, a week later. Well, not full 2 weeks, but like 11 days, like something like, there's always so kind of like specific yet non-specific. It's real fun. And we open on, Stan actually going to, damn it, I actually have her name here. It's the actress is Denise Boot.
Laura Bouchard.
Laura, that's right.
Laura,
so,
yeah, Laura. Laura.
So it's Laura, who we remember from the Black Hat Society Part 1 and 2. We were speculating if she had died in that episode when she was grabbed up with the magic hands and choked, but by Constable Eccles' daughter. But apparently she survived that encounter. It was just kind of like a knockout choking. I'm not sure how the magic choke sort of works, but she's alive and well, and she's willing to help Stan summon the spirit of Gerard Duquette.
Which just makes it funnier when Stan brings up the he drops the eyeballs when he comes over to her house, and like, here's the eyes from that thing that came up out of the grave, the Wraith. I remember.
Yeah, I was there.
I was there.
You remember? It looked like a big pile of crap covered in bullshit.
Yes. But I like her genuine, like, PTSD kind of reaction of, like, no, I remember.
Oh, yeah, I vividly. So I think Stan has a line here of trying to convince her at first. She doesn't want to quite do it. He has some line about, like, America not being what it used to.
It goes off about Evel Knievel.
Yeah, it was some weird, and he just mentions it, and then they kind of move on, like, this country hasn't been the same since Evel Knievel died. And I was like, what does that even mean?
And she's like, no, you don't want to do this. It's like, that's what they tried to tell Evel Knievel.
See, Evel Knievel, they told him no to. You can't jump over Caesar's palace. He did. You can't jump over 13 double-decker buses. He did. You can't jump over Snake River Canyon, and he damn sure did.
Everything he lists, like, as he was saying them, I'm thinking, like, no, he didn't make that jump.
But he tried. He tried like a man in a skin-tight leather jumpsuit with a beautiful cape, good hair, a helmet, and I've gotten off topic.
I like this moment because it's like, is Stan a little gay for his heroic icons?
Yeah, he's weird with them, that's for sure.
Well, he keeps mentioning like Starsky and Hutch were gay, and like he's mentioning Rock Hudson, and I'm just like, maybe Stan is a little more heteroflexible than I at first thought he was.
I feel like if you could ever get Stan in therapy, there's definitely some territory to mine there.
There's lots
Stan.
to unpack.
I think he really does go in this whole homoeroticism description.
I'm going to go so
of
far as to say Stan may have some bottled up issues that he has not dealt with.
Well, I mean, if we want to go from the evil doppelganger, what traits it displays later, and if it's really what's some of Stan's repressed traits, that might be interesting to get to. But we'll wait until the evil Stan shows up.
Okay.
I love McGinley's delivery on all the Evel Knievel stuff and the full pause of like, I've gotten off topic.
Oh, I've gotten off topic. What are we talking about again? Like, it's just, I need to go back in time and save my wife. And it's.
Yeah, of course, Lara's like not very cool with that because that's bad. Don't do that.
I feel like if you live in a universe where you've seen one time travel movie, you know that you're not supposed to change the timeline. Yeah. And you definitely aren't supposed to change major things like deaths or births or. I feel like that's just common knowledge of it feels like it's bad. Mm-hmm. Like you shouldn't do it.
There's also always the rule of like, I can help you with this plan, or I can say no, you can leave, come up with a 5 or 10 times dumber plan.
Yeah, it's true.
Mm-hmm.
And you're still going to do it. Like, that's how that always goes. So, like, there's almost an argument for, shouldn't the other member of the Scooby Gang just help?
And mitigate damage? Yeah.
Yeah, at least you'll be, at least then you'll be there, as opposed to, like, new team of absolute dimwits that the other person finds to still make this happen. Because Stan's going to figure out some increasingly worse way to go back and do this. Like he's really stuck in his craw now.
Right. And that's what I feel bad about for those hero groups. They're always trying to follow the reckless hero and then their friends always like, well, I don't agree with this, but I know you're going to fuck it up worse if I don't come with you.
So I have to do it.
Yeah, the rest of the DC heroes that are like, what's a boom tube? Why did you run into it? Do we have to follow him? Jesus.
Shit. I was just about to say the CW Arrowverse. I was just like that almost happens every other episode. Looking at you, Team Flash. I forget what he smells something weird during the seance though.
Oh, it's sage. It's just sage. He's had that in sausage for God's sake. Like you.
And again, in a traditional Stan way, very descriptive. This episode describes it as a pregnant raccoon died in a chimney.
Yep.
Yuck.
And he comes up with a better one later.
Mm-hmm. We did skip at one point though, is that after Laura's like, no, I won't do that for you, Stan says, please.
Yeah, he does. He gives, of course, all John C. McGinley has to do is break down that one time and go, please, for Claire. And because it's John C. McGinley and he knows that his vulnerable state is like his super weapon, so he only uses it every once in a while, like his super move. Like it's like the puppy dog look for other people of just like, oh, I can't say no to that. You're so vulnerable.
Like
and
the bar's so low for him to be nice, like for Stan to be nice. Like it's like you think it's armor, but it's just a scab. Like there's nothing in between. It's just super rough on the outside and pink baby skin underneath.
There's
it's very descriptive.
He's just a big, crunchy, crunchy hard candy on the outside, but the soft nougat on the inside.
I thought you were going to go with the scab metaphor for a minute. It was like, please don't fuck.
Though it would be appropriate for this show. So yeah, they sit down to do the seance. I like that he has when they have to hold hands, he gives the small little. I love that John C. McGinley sigh, like that disgruntled, like ugh, whatever, because it's kind of like a halfway mix between a disgusted grunt and a sigh. I don't know. I like it though. I like it a lot, and I forget what he does to piss Laura off, but she even grabs him and goes like nails, and we see the montage of her trying to summon the Gerard Duquette, and Stan is just doing the whole board thing, like bashing his head against the table, and then he finally wakes up later and he's like, oh wait,
I know I should have said. It smells like somebody popped a balloon full of clown farts.
And then gives like a ta-da.
He's like, oh, and I love that because he's like, oh, that's what the entire thing he was thinking about this entire time. Like, the minute he said the pregnant raccoon thing, he was like, that wasn't very good.
Yeah,
I can do better. I can do better than that one. Like, let me kick it around a little bit. So, yeah, that was a whole big bag of nothing, apparently.
But she does. I
we
like
can
that she
tell.
says she didn't. She's gotten low reactions or like a weak reaction before, but never like nothing happens at all. Nothing. And again, any of us who've ever watched a horror movie or anything, like you just did this whole thing and nothing happened. Something happened.
Yeah.
Like you summoned something. Hellboy appeared in another spot, but Rasputin shit worked.
Yeah. So we assume that like the thing didn't go to plan, but then Stan wakes up later that night to be visited by Gerard Duquette, and he's like, "Oh, holy shit!" So after confirming it's Gerard Duquette, he's asked like, "Well, why weren't you at the seance?" And I love this response of like, he just goes,
I had a thing.
So apparently, like, a seance is actually just a ringing the doorbell. Like, nah, I'm just not going to answer that door.
maybe it's just a pager thing.
Yeah.
Like, it's just like,
Let me
I'm,
go to voicemail.
I was
It's fine.
wrapped up in this other meeting, this other thing I had to do. It's technical. It's demon stuff. You wouldn't get it. So Stan tries to explain the deal to Duquette, and Duquette's like, "Oh yeah, I know all about that. I know your thing." And he's like, "Oh cool. Can you help me?" And to which he asks, "Okay, I could help you, but do you like riddles?" And I love Stan's like, "No, I'm straight." I love how Stan can go in such vivid description of how manly and attractive Evel Knievel is, but yet riddles are gay.
Yeah.
Like there is a interesting logic track there that I find are like, or is it riddles that are gay, or is it solving riddles? Is that what's gay?
Oh.
I don't.
Or maybe just liking. I feel like maybe just liking stuff.
Maybe liking yeah.
things is gay.
So he wants to figure out how to his main mission is to time travel only a year back rather than the 400 that the eyes would normally take him.
How does this not just involve shaving a 400th of an eyeball? Anyway.
I mean,
The whole eyeball.
that would be the thing I would try, but
Because man, from what happens from here forward, this math does not add up for me. Like I don't understand how the time travel plan works from here on in.
well, I mean, I think I sort of get it, kind of, but we'll get to that because first we got to figure out the riddle. Which the riddle is: the first person is your passage on the time travel express. You can go wherever they go on the day that they're laid to rest. Which it's a good riddle because it rhymes. Or kind of rhymes. And they says you have 24 hours to solve the riddle, and if he fails, he dies. Which seems like a standard thing for all of the challenges in the demon world sort of thing. Which I like that even the reason, like, it's like, well, it makes it more fun for me, is basically his reasoning on it.
Right. Yeah, like that's not a cosmic rule. That's just my thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I do love that he even repeats one of Stan's lines from the previous episode where he's just like,
Later, Tater.
which is just a fun thing for a voodoo spirit to say.
Yeah.
I feel like.
Which, do you guys watch Atlanta?
I do, but I'm behind.
So did you see season 1?
I did.
So the weird guy on the bus, I think in the first episode, that's like, bite this sandwich. That tries to give Donald Glover a sandwich. That's Gerard Duquette.
Oh, really?
Yeah, that's the same actor.
Oh, cool. Okay, I didn't recognize him with the makeup on.
I was like, I weirdly was like, I recognized that dude's voice for some reason. Like, why do I know him from a role? And then I was like, oh, you have a really small, really memorable role on Atlanta.
Mm-hmm. That is funny. I'm glad. Now I can only think of maybe Teddy Perkins should be in a episode of Stand Against Evil.
Man, Teddy Perkins should never be in anything. That's creepy. That was so creepy.
Oh boy. But yeah, so Stan has the riddle. He has his thing, but I remember what he asks. He asks like, "Oh, if I died, how would I die?" Which I love that the response is just him fading away into the background, and then for Stan, the evil doppelganger, to make his first appearance, where he has this weird kind of, I'm not sure if John C. McGinley doing the voice or if he's having some sort of added effect on it.
Baby,
You'll do something so horrible that the people of Willard's Mill will band together and kill you themselves.
There's a bit of an added effect, but it cracks me up that it's not very discernible from his normal voice. Like, it's just a little bit lower and a little bit more reverb, it seems like.
And he's like, maybe you'll do something so horrible that the people of Willard's Mill will band together and kill you themselves. So and he laughs this unbelievably
really
psychotic laugh.
It allows him to make really good use of McGinley's ability to have this just bottled up glee. Like, he does maniacal, like, it happens whenever he gets into his cut downs or burns too, like, where you can just see the energy building of like, oh, this is great. Wait, I've got it. Balloon full of clown farts. Yeah. Like, it's that same kind of joy.
So Stan is like, oh, that doesn't seem great. He wakes up the next morning to try and work on the riddle. He doesn't really get that far because he asks Denise about it. It's like, Denise, you're good at puzzles, right? Which we have seen that Denise does do puzzles. We're not sure of how good she is at them.
Well, she's clearly not good at assembling things. Because she's sitting there trying to put, like, a paper towel on a roll, and she, like, can't figure it out.
She's looking at it like it's a fucking Rubik's Cube.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah, she's trying to assemble the towel holder, which literally just screws into that base. That's it.
Yeah, it's not hard.
It's like one step. So, maybe even without owl interference, those puzzles never would have got finished to begin with. Now I'm thinking about it. But yeah, she mentioned something about Leon Drinkwater calling and wanted to thank Stan for the fudge. And Stan's like, I'm sorry, what? Apparently he went down the station and gave Leon some fudge. And Stan goes, that wasn't me. Uh-oh. And
I really loved Denise's response to this.
Are you sure it wasn't you? Why would I lie about fudge? Which is a weird thing for Stan to say, but Denise will top that. Because she goes into this bug nuts, like, just fucking insane.
This huge rant.
Insane thing about
this
fudge.
Tops the Evel Knievel thing.
Why would I lie about fudge?
Well, we've all made a bad batch of fudge before. And we lied about it. Shame fudge is real, but we don't let it get us down. We get back in the kitchen, we roll up our sleeves, and we try again!
And she even has this weird fucking growl about it. And it's so, like,
Shame fudge is real might be one of my favorite quotes from the show now.
Yes, yeah.
And I don't have anything really to say about it other than, Denise, I love you. You're my favorite character. Never change anything about yourself.
Yeah, Deborah Baker Jr. is just phenomenal in this show.
Killing it. Just killing it. And I feel like in these moments is where she truly gets the time to shine. And I forget what happens. The ringing happens, I think, because Stan actually calls to try and check on Drinkwater. We just see Leon's legs and a half plate of fudge, and he's groaning and just like and it's apparently Stan has slipped some more fun fudge than Leon is used to,
which is surprising because I would imagine Leon does that all the time.
There's a lot of questions. Like, Stan knows how to make brownies or fudge. Special fudge. Stan has all the ingredients for that.
Does evil Stan have all of the knowledge and know-how that regular Stan does? Is one of my questions.
I don't know.
I feel because he acts so differently. We know we'll get. We gotta get to the.
Well, he knows people.
He knows everyone in the town, but like apparently, and he says different things. But first we have to actually mention Denise's utter defeat by the paper towel dispenser because she lets it. I love how she just leaves it on the table and she just walks away.
She just like puts her hands up. She's done.
She backs away from it like it might explode, or like she wants it to know that she's submitted.
She's accepted defeat.
Like, she wants to know that the paper towel has definitely beat her and that it should not, like, attack her or something. It's such a weird little funny scene.
She puts it in the sink.
Yeah.
Like, it's a purely like psychological putting it away because it makes no sense where she puts it. Like she doesn't throw him in the trash.
No.
Anyway.
Oh boy.
Denise.
Anyway, Stan goes to check on Leon, and Leon is fucked up.
He's a little high.
He comes out of the closet. I'm thinking that's where the closet, or is it the evidence room? I'm not sure what that room is actually. But he's got a shotgun, crazy hair. Or no, he doesn't have the shotgun at this point. Actually, he's just the crazy hair, and he's shirtless, and he is acting just fucking crazy. And I forget what he says here. Like Stan is like, what the hell happened to you? I think Leon just says like the fudge happened, man.
It's freedom for your mind.
Leon, what was in the fudge?
Freedom for the mind.
I only got 14 hours. I gotta go.
Which I'm surprised Stan actually checked on Leon to begin with.
Yeah, well, I think he just wanted to prove to himself that I didn't make fudge for this person, did I?
I think he was trying to catch his evil doppelganger, really. I think he was trying to catch him, trying to figure out where it was. But now that he knows that trail's gone cold, I think he's going to go back to his original intent here. But not without Leon Drinkwater say so, because he brings the shotgun out of nowhere.
Wait!
Oh, no!
Now you have a better idea. Why don't I kill you? And you go to heaven, and you call me. Tell me what you see.
The way Leon is acting and some of the stuff that he starts to draw on himself later, he really reminds me of one of the psychos from Borderlands, if you've ever played that game.
Yeah, a little bit.
Oh, the anticipation! Bang, bang leads to smash, smash! Every time you shoot its head, another puppet loses its skin.
I like the next thing that happens here because we see Evil Stan show up at Laura's, and he's like, "Oh, hi." He still has the weird kind of low demon voice, but apparently no one kind of notices that. And he's like, "Oh, do you want to try the seance again?" And he's like, "That sounds delightful." Like, just being unbelievably polite.
Oh, hi.
Did you want to try the seance again?
That sounds delish.
You want to try it?
Sure.
Love the house.
You were just here yesterday?
Oh, snap.
Yeah, I wanted to mention watching this, like, if you guys ever, like, if I ever show up or call y'all, and I'm suddenly talking like this, say something. Like, bring it up. Don't just be like, wow,
hey.
You sound a little froggy today, Les. Jean-Trey.
I love just thinking about Les, like,
Les.
like, just evil Les is just, like, I think Iron Fist was pretty good, guys. I don't know what everyone was talking
Perfectly
about.
pressed shirt.
Kill him! Kill him!
All the Marvel Netflix shows are wonderfully paced.
It's just like, I feel like the pacing is fantastic. So he even mentions, like, I love the house. And he has this weird, like, mannerism he's doing, and, like, you were just here yesterday. Oh, snap. And he gives the actual oh, snap.
Yeah.
He has these weird, effeminate gestures and body language. Like, and it's, I'm just like, I find it's odd that Evil Stan is the real, like, the opposite of regular Stan, where regular Stan is all toxic masculinity, hiding the nougaty center, as let's put it. And
doesn't like to be touched.
He doesn't like, he doesn't like to be touched, and doesn't like to portray anything he can see as his weakness or emotions. And Evil Stan is all about his emotions and being very polite, and loving everybody, but has evil, sinister intent buried deep in there.
Yeah, like murder.
So, yeah. So he is the Stan's mirror opposite.
Yeah. So, question. Is the evil doppelganger demon Gerard Duquette? Or is it summoned by Gerard Duquette?
I think he's summoned by Gerard Duquette. Because we see in the opening that the demon was operating kind of independently. But I think that Gerard Duquette was just like, oh, you know what? I'll give one of these other witches a chance to kill Stan with my little test.
Because I wasn't sure if this was something Duquette did to, like, unleashed on them, or if her day-long, let's call everything I can think of, seance unleashed multiple things, or if it was Duquette himself.
Well, I think we never get it answered for sure, but I think my theory is that Gerard Duquette just called another demon to help him out with it. Because we see Gerard Duquette later while Evil Stan is off doing something else.
Yeah.
Assumedly. I mean, we never see him in the same room at the same time, so I could be wrong, but I get the feeling that it's another entity that Gerard Duquette has kind of hired to freelance style. And I love that the mailman showing up here too. He's like, the doorbell rings and Stan's all excited to have company, and I love the mailman. What's his name? Gordy.
Gordy.
So,
Yeah, and Stan's like, Gordy the mailman, you get your ass in here. What's that saying you guys have? Neither sleet nor snow or rain or whatever. And they just have like a little back and forth about like the motto of the mail service. And then he's like, "Oh, what about a bucket?" I'm sorry. Would you say that a bucket might keep you from your appointed rounds? And then he nails him in the face with this bucket. And
he really and from the start, I used to have a bucket like that. He really likes that bucket.
Apparently, the evil doppelganger's go-to weapon is buckets.
That's a weird weapon.
But if they made a video game, like, you could see the evil doppelganger stand just having like an unending supply of buckets to throw as like a mini boss.
Sure. Well, I mean, I guess maybe he's proficient in buckets. Like, that could be a thing.
Plus one for buckets.
Plus, yeah, he gets just +1 for bucket use due to his milking experience backstory. But I love that Laura does seem to scream a lot, but doesn't really seem to want to help or do a whole lot.
No, she just kind of sits there.
I mean, maybe I just remembered this wrong.
Stan runs in there, or doppelganger Stan runs in there, grabs the bucket off the floor, and like goes to town again.
Yeah.
Like, "Oh, come here, you scamp."
Yeah, he does. I love that line of just,
"Come here, you scamp."
Like, he has this weird fucking laugh. Like, I know I've heard it in a Mary's Medley's cartoon before, but I don't know which character it was. But I know that laugh is like reminding me of something. And it's just gonna drive me crazy until I hear it like 2 years from now. Like, that's it.
That's where that is.
But yeah. Meanwhile, Stan is having trouble still with Drinkwater.
Who was basically keeping him hostage.
Yeah, well, he's got him at gunpoint, and now he's drawn a skull on his chest, which reminds me even more of Psychos from Borderlands.
His mind had his brain do it using his hand.
Had my brain do it with my hand.
That was one of the most high statements anyone's ever made, I think. Like, I drew this. Well, my mind told my brain to draw this, and he used my hand. Like...
Yes, that's technically how that would work.
And then he says you can go when Evie gets here, but it's Evie's day off, so she's going to get here tomorrow. And this was an interesting line because I thought to myself, wait a minute. I should have thought of this before because people get days off and stuff.
Yeah.
Like, that's a thing that happens. But does that mean that there are days within the week, like maybe Thursdays or something, where Drinkwater is in charge of the sheriff's department?
I thought the same thing of like, wow, don't have any emergencies on Tuesdays or what. Yeah, like it would behoove you as a townsperson to find out what days that is.
That's insane.
Like, the town basically just accepts, like, okay, on Tuesdays, no one does anything. The police department
Drinkwater's in charge.
Thursdays from 9 to 5, like, everything is hardcore just shut down. Like, the whole town just goes into crisis mode. And like, okay, no one do fucking anything.
Or stay in your house with children. Stay inside.
There's like 8 years of unsolved murders, and the commonality between them is that or unsolved crimes, and the commonality is that they happened on Drinkwater days, and so the whole crime scene was fucked up, and like all the evidence was screwed up, and like where it stands is like, yeah, there's just nothing going on that, at Drinkwater Day. Hey,
how much we can do?
It was a drink day. That's just like, how it goes.
Like, oh, you got robbed on a Tuesday in 95? Yeah, no, that was a Drinkwater Day one.
Also, you figure with the whole curse thing going on, like, why would anyone take a day off? Like, that's a ridiculous...
Seems like you'd stay on until you solved that, but...
Hey, Evie needs time for herself to read her magazines.
Oh boy.
My God, Divorced Sheriff Monthly.
We get the phone call from Laura, who is talking about.
She's smart that she knows the Drinkwater Day because she calls Evie at home.
You know what? We actually missed a whole segment here because I wrote in my notes, but I wrote in my notes here, but it actually happens earlier, in which Drinkwater Vision. We see Drinkwater Vision for this high vision, and I thought I thought it happened here, but it actually happens even before he has the shotgun. So sorry, we're jumping in out of order here, but Drinkwater is so fucking high, he sees crazy things during his.
Right. That was a thing that happened.
Remember, so some of the things he sees are a woman with a cat mask and a can of spam.
Canned ham at least.
Canned ham, or whatever the hell it is.
And some kind of howdy-doody knockoff ventriloquist dummy-looking thing.
The ventriloquist dummy, which disappears in between shots. He's not in every shot. But then also he has a ventriloquist in some shots, but not in other shots. Right. There's a madness
going on
to this.
And the little animated fudge squares, which look a little scared of Drinkwater.
Oh, hey, I'm Stan. Ah. And they even have their own little voice.
Like Towley the Fudge.
And it's weird, and we never see this vision ever again other than this scene.
I kind of hope we never do, because it's terrifying.
It is. It's one of the points where the show goes from, I know it's a horror comedy, but it's legitimately disturbing.
Mm-hmm. The highlight of the entire episode is Drinkwater's "Are you looking at my bottom?"
Are you looking at my bottom? And he's this shimmy thing.
There should be a if there's not a GIF of that, I'm figure out how the kids make those and make one.
There's a GIF of him coming. I've seen the GIFs of him coming out with the crazy hair, but I don't think there's one of him shaking his ass.
It should just be a cycle of just him doing that, because he does it for way too long. And that's the show moves full into horror.
Yeah, because that ventriloquist dummy is one thing that really is man, I don't like that. That strikes a weird chord in me. Maybe it's because I really was scared about that episode about Slappy and Goosebumps, but I legitimately find that terrifying. Also, the ventriloquist just showing up. I bet you he's just a Scarface from Batman, where the ventriloquist is riding him or something. There's just a whole. Ugh. But anyway, back to the call here. Laura tries to call the sheriff's department. Drinkwater intercepts it and just call her at home. She loves that. And then he wants Stan to draw I forget,
basically get his back.
Yeah, he wants to draw something from Iron Maiden.
Eddie the Head. Yeah, he wants him to draw Eddie the Head from Iron Maiden, and starts to explain it to him, and I like Stan's just shut down of I know who Eddie the Head is. Fear the Dark much?
Yeah, Fear the Dark much? Jesus.
Man, I know Maiden.
So I love that. Yeah, we do. Evie does get the call, and it's great. She's reading Divorce Sheriff Monthly, and her line is something like, "Is as true now as it was then," which is a weird thing to say about I'm assuming current version of or a current issue of Divorce Sheriff Monthly. I really, man, at one time I know that she's probably just reading another magazine with a fake cover over it. But I really do hope someone in the prop department actually put together Divorce Sheriff a Divorce Sheriff magazine. That's really funny to me.
Cutouts in there of other articles.
It's so specific.
Because it was Divorce Female Sheriff Monthly.
Right.
Yes.
And I do love the fact that when she calls, I forget what her exact line was. Stan just killed someone, and she actually. This is where
the mailman's dead.
The phone voice returns, guys. The phone voice. It's not just Leon that does it. The phone voice returns, and he's like, "Oh, what? Stan did what? Oh my God! I'll be right there." So I'm really glad that we're starting to do this with the phone voices intermittently.
I'm not usually a big fan of revision stuff, but they should go back and do this in every episode prior.
There should be a special.
They should change the stream to downloadable episodes and add that.
What's it, a special edition? It's just a George Lucas special edition, only with just the phone calls.
It's a tiny thing that feels like one of the hallmarks of when the show really dialed in of you guys know just what you're doing now. And it's the phone thing is hysterical.
Yeah. I really, I really liked the thing here where Evie shows up and she gets the rundown of exactly what happened. And I love how certain things track for her and certain things don't. Like, oh, Stan killed someone? That seems kind of odd. Like, she seems like that's odd. Like,
yeah, it's like, that's probably inevitable, but right now it doesn't make much sense.
Sure, but like we've killed demons and stuff before, and maybe that's what's been going on. Like, she doesn't seem that off put by it. But she says like, oh, but something seemed off about him first. He was just so happy and friendly. And she's like, oh, well, that sounds like something we should
clearly evil.
we need to investigate. There's something wrong. There's something rotten in Denmark here.
Yeah, like Stan beat a chipper mailman to death with a bucket. Maybe
Yeah,
explain. But yeah, Stan was happy. There is nothing you could say that will make that possibly believable.
Yeah, and then it's like, so you're sure it was Stan? Yeah, it was him. It was him, all right. He even left you a message in which the message just says, "It was me."
You sure Stan did it?
It was me. I did it. It was me. / Stan Miller. Like, yep. It's just this little note written in blood, which is pretty fun. But Evie realizes that there's no body. There's no body here, and I love Laura's just like, oh, that.
This is where it gets weirder.
Well, apparently
yes.
the Gordy the mailman just gets up and starts going on the mail route again.
Yep, just zombie mailman.
Mm-hmm.
And there's not really been any prior explanation in any of the instructions. I mean, like, definitely don't buy furniture from Gerard Duquette because, like, it's going to be missing several steps in the IKEA manual.
Like, there is... Like, and then the Gordy the mailman comes back in later, sort of, but there's never really an explanation for why he starts to walk around as an undead.
Yeah.
It's just another weird,
just
like...
thing that happens.
Yeah, apparently, like, there's no contract to read the fine print on, so I guess I don't know if this is part of the rules or whatever, And, yeah, so he's out walking about, but he's not the only one. Stan is, evil Stan, I should say, is also having a walkabout. I forget the first scene we see him. Oh, it's, him peeing on, tomatoes, right?
Yeah, it's like peeing in someone's garden.
Right, he's peeing in someone's...
These heirlooms?
They are now.
Which is fun. They even start to... Oh, man, I was gonna look up the fucking, the song they start to play here, but I forgot. I didn't look it up.
No, I tried to, and I haven't been able to find it. The booty song?
Yes.
Like Drinkwater's rocking out to?
Yes, that Drinkwater's walking out to, and we see the Kim cut with Stan being bad in it. Like, it's a really weird song, and Drinkwater is dancing to it like, what's his name from, Reservoir Dogs from, like, Stuck in the Middle with You. Like, it's a real weird fucking sequence that is just like, it's just disturbing on a lot of levels. I forget where my notes are here. There's a lot of cutting back and forth. And let's see, the thing here, we had, Stan is, watching Drinkwater just dance for a little bit. But then he gets one over on Drinkwater. I forget how. He distracts him by, what does he say? Now I can't remember.
Oh, that's part written down.
He says something about, like, it wasn't drawn on his back. We already had that scene because he, like, just threw the...
Oh, I also love, yeah, if ever asked by somebody that fucked up to draw, I love that reaction of, like, he just throws all the markers at his back and, like, oh, you're gonna love that. And, like, you can see Drinkwater's pleased, like, oh yeah, that's great.
Yeah, only thing in the script here is says funky music playing, so I don't even have that, damn it. Alright. But before Stan gets the drop on Drinkwater, Evie gets the rundown of what Stan's been up to regarding his wife and that whole plan, because Laura just straight up tells her. Laura doesn't really think it was a secret, and so...
Yeah, except for it kind of was.
And so Evie's like, oh shit, that's gotta be bad, right? Like, that's real bad. And, no, I guess it's not in the script. Maybe he just waits for Leon to turn around during his dance thing and takes him out and knocks him out, because I remember that happening. But we get a great scene before that where the evil Stan is, of course, causing a ruckus, causing mischief around town, and the old woman screams. Only it's not a scream that comes out; it's this telephone ring, which was an odd audio thing that was. It was so like
a weird cutaway.
Mm-hmm. And like I found it out. I'm like, you know what? That is inherently funny because it's so nonsensical. But like that's the first time anything like that has happened on the show, really, as regards to like that sort of transition. And Stan starts to get calls about him.
Yeah, which is weird because you think they would recognize that who the sheriff is talking, but
Hello, Sheriff Miller did what to your bird feeder? Well, sweetheart, love takes many forms. Hello. Sheriff Miller climbed up on your roof and took a dump down your chimney. Well, don't start a fire. Hang on.
I like that people are talking to him, not recognizing his voice.
Yeah.
Right. Well, I'm assuming that on the other end, all they're hearing is...
that's fair, actually. No, that's...
So, like, yeah, maybe no one can recognize anyone's voice.
Hello. No, I don't want to lower my credit score. Eat a bag of dicks.
Eat a bag of dicks.
And thank you for that one, because fuck all those people.
Oh my god. So, I'm not sure if this is true in your neck of the woods, Les, but in our neck of the woods specifically, and me and Travis have been getting just tons of swamp calls from telemarketers lately. I forget, like, we were told, like, what did Kyle's, like, our friend Kyle said it was just something about recent legal laws going into it, that they were allowed to, like, phone bank and use different phone numbers to trick your cell phone or whatever, so that you can't block them.
I don't know if something changed on the... I don't know if something changed on the do not call or what. My cell phone comically lists a lot of stuff as scam likely, which I love. Nice. And that cracks me up. So, like, every once in a while in the morning I'll get a call that's like, total fucking scam.
Wow, Scam Likely. That's a great band name.
Right.
Well, I really, I'm thinking about, like, okay, note to self, start a band. Second note, learn an instrument.
Or what's the Brooklyn Nine-Nine running gag? Title of your sex tape?
Title of your sex tape?
Scam Likely.
I appreciate this shot at telemarketers. I feel like that will never go out of style. No. I mean, I hope one day there'll be one day where I have to explain to my grandchildren, well, you see, child, before we took all the telemarketers and purged them like the scum that they were, and cleansed our earth of them, we used to get these calls from these people that wanted us to check our car warranty or double down on our erase our student loan credit in 3 years or something. Like it was a terrible dark time.
What really sucks is working those jobs. Like, I don't think I've ever, friends of mine that have worked those jobs, like, it's just a crap hourly wage job, and like you don't have any personal commitment to it, but you get yelled at so much. The worst one was a friend of mine that did a marketing job where they weren't selling anything, so she didn't make any commission. It was just a survey, but she got the same like level of ire that you would get for like, hey, do you want to open up an Amway sale? Like, so she'd get yelled back at. She's like, this is just for public policy, for God's sake. Just.
But no one likes answering the phone.
But no one likes us. Like, I remember the Seinfeld bit.
Oh, I'm sorry. Excuse me 1 second. Hello?
Hi. Would you be interested in switching over to TMI long distance service?
Oh, gee, I can't talk right now. Why don't you give me your home number and I'll call you later?
Well, I'm sorry. We're not allowed to do that.
Oh, I guess you don't want people calling you at home.
No.
Well, now you know how I feel.
Yeah. Oh, wait, no. So calling you at home tonight would be weird. Okay.
Well, now you know how I feel.
Yeah.
Yeah, so there's always like that joke is always a oldie but a goodie, I think. And I like that Stan does run back. I think he just runs back home, right? Like, I think what's his thinking here? Is he just trying to run back home? Is he trying to stop Evil Stan, or is he just going home to try and solve the riddle?
I think it was to solve the riddle mostly.
Maybe he just needed a beer. Like, I really don't know.
Because I at this point I don't remember. Like, why did you even come to Leon's? Like, why didn't you just work on solving the riddle? Since that would have been the whole thing.
All the issues.
Mm-hmm. I mean, on one level, I get if he was more of a caring character that would care about his reputation being tarnished around town.
But it's Stan.
or something like that.
I think he more wants to stop because he doesn't want to fight the whole town.
Sure. And the town.
I don't know so much reputation is just they'll the town's going to kill him.
So he just leaves Drinkwater unconscious there, which is pretty funny.
Yeah, it's not like anyone cares with Drinkwater.
So I think we just cut to him, Stan and the gang trying to figure out the puzzle, and apparently 23 hours and 53 minutes have passed.
Like, what the fuck, Stan?
It's like, what have you been doing the whole time? Like, how long were you stuck with Drinkwater? Like, that seems crazy.
I was wondering that too. Like, when I was watching it, and they were talking about, like, going back in time to the first, and I was like, man, how long have we been screwing around with this riddle? But yeah, right, almost at 24 hours.
Mm-hmm. And then, I do like this. The evil Stan shows back up at the sheriff's station for Drinkwater, and he wakes him up, and he wants to play rock paper scissors.
I wanted to challenge you to a game of rock paper scissors.
Okay.
For stabs.
And he gets this knife out of nowhere.
Nice
like,
twirl
holy
to
shit.
the knife too.
So I'm assuming rock, paper, scissors for stabs is that if you lose rock, paper, scissors, the winner gets to stab you.
Yeah, probably.
So one of you can't stab anymore.
Yeah, which kind of comes down to how long the winner wants to play.
Mm-hmm.
Like you could end that, and I feel like Stan ends that game on one round.
Right. And obviously, Drinkwater, as we see him later, obviously he has lost that game. Things do not go well for him.
No.
Let's see. So it's almost midnight, and they still haven't figured out the riddle. And suddenly there's a doorbell ring, and Deniska, of course, goes, "I'll get it."
Yep.
Which is like, no, it can only be something bad. Who would be visiting at midnight?
Well, and their first reaction is like, "Oh crap, we lost track of Denise," because Laura's like, she went downstairs. Oh man, like, oh wait, we don't have eyes on Denise because she just nonchalantly runs to the door.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
as if she's never lived in this town before, or been part of this family.
Sense.
Yeah, so the mailman comes around Gordy and starts to attack Denise. Stan gets in the middle of the mix, and the people are starting to cheer him on, like, "Hey, go for his eyes!" Oh, wait, that's it! His eyes, Stan, get his eyes! The first person, get it?
Oh, I get it. That's clever.
And it just proceeds to continue wailing on Gordy.
Mm-hmm. And that's the answer to the riddle. The first person is your passage on the Time Travel Express. So apparently that's what really leads him to discover that, Gordy's eyes will let me travel back in time.
So it's first person that the doppelganger killed.
Right.
So
like
the amount of time that you can go back is determined by the doppelganger demon. Like, it seems like Gerard Duquette kind of picked this. It seems like none of the control is in Stan's hands at all, and that Duquette did all of this.
Yeah, there's a thing, like, we'll get to it later when we have to we talk about the plan to get Claire back, because it's like there's a point where I'm like, I don't think the logic tracks here, but we'll get to it. Because we got to get to this next line, which is a fun line for Stan here. Is like,
you know what they say about eyeballs? They don't gouge themselves out.
Which is pretty good.
I mean, he's not wrong, but...
I mean, no, that's a correct statement. This is an odd thing to say. And so we cut to black on that one.
They cut straight to doppelganger Stan pulling the knife or killing Drinkwater.
Right.
Because I actually thought that was like the pop back in time, honestly.
You thought, like, as soon as he gouged the eyes,
like
that he would
popped
pop
those
back
eyes
in.
and then he went boop, like back in time for a second. Then I realized, like, oh no, wait, this is a cut to the other Stan.
Yeah, it's because it's doppelganger Stan.
Yeah.
And then, he's got, man, we should, is it Stanelganger? Or, it's not like a cute name we can give him for, like, Doppelstan. Like, yeah, it's not as fun as, like, when they did it on Community with Doppeldiener. Like,
yeah.
That's, but, I really do like that Leon dies here. it's just he dies and no one knows, and it doesn't really matter because we've cut back to we time travel so quickly afterwards.
Right.
But it is established that that Drinkwater does die.
I wonder if they'll bring that back at all ever.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, there's a fun thing in the next episode, which I know normally I don't watch the episodes beforehand because I like to keep it fresh. But I had to write my first article for That's My Entertainment. Check out That's My Entertainment for my 5 expectations for Stands Against Evil Season 3. And I had to watch the whole thing so I would better prepare myself. And they do bring Drinkwater dying back.
Okay.
But not really in the way you're thinking. Like, so that's fun for him. We see Stan face off with Gerard Duquette. Is like, I figured it out. I got the eyes. I got it in time. And Duquette keeps to his word. Is like, yep, you got it, buddy. And
all right then, little man.
Get on there, little man. Like, I love that. Like, obviously this he's been keeping tabs on modern lingo. Apparently, like with the later tater and I had a thing.
Right.
Like,
yeah, Duquette seems okay. I mean, he's clearly a bad guy, but like he seems cool.
I mean, I think he's one of the grayer demons we've met, where he gives Stan the deal, but of course if it doesn't work, it dies. But he doesn't seem that
That's just mostly to keep it interesting for him. He just really doesn't care. He seems callous. Like I feel like he and Stan are going to be pals.
He's not very invested in Stan's death. It's more to amuse him more than anything.
You need something to happen, otherwise it's going to go on forever. You just don't want that. He has things to do.
Yeah, I'm like, I got to give you a time limit, just to keep things interesting.
Screw around, yeah.
So Stan travels back in time before he's summoned Duquette, and Mailman Gordy is now alive, and everyone is alive, including Drinkwater. He's playing with his nice little bouncy ball toy. I forget what you call those, but like his paddle,
paddle
his
ball,
paddle,
yeah.
ball, and and I love that she was it. I forget what happens here. The Stan comes in to hug Denise, I think.
Yeah.
And
she just does not like it.
There's just this half second of her like looking uncomfortable, and then she screams like, "Ah!" And it's almost like she remembers there was an evil doppelganger. Although Denise never knew there was an evil doppelganger.
Not really.
No, I think she's just screaming because Stan hugged her.
Yeah, that's the most.
Yeah.
Like if Stan walked into a room and just gave you a big hug because he missed you, it would scare the crap out of you.
Yeah, he'd be like, "Oh, you are clearly an evil doppelganger."
Yes. If his evil doppelganger had done that to Denise, I think she'd have gone screaming through the streets, something's wrong with Stan.
Mm-hmm. And I love that moment between them, just like it's just showing how rare and unlike it is for Stan to show any physical affection.
Yeah,
it's just pretty telling.
So when he dresses up in the sheriff's outfit in a moment and goes to the Claire's grave, I felt like it was ending the episode with him kind of knowing that like evil doppelganger's still out there, but I'm not going to worry about that.
Well, I mean, at first that's what I thought too, but also that does not come back.
I just assumed that the evil doppelganger would have been taken away by Duquette.
And that's what the show does treat it that way. Like as far as I know now, with what I've watched, I really think that the fudge thing and some of the other stuff is actually just continuity errors. I feel like just no one got the fudge out of that shot, which was a weird little detail. So, or maybe Stan or like someone in the timeline, because we've seen time purples before. Maybe someone just made him non-trippy fudge,
yeah,
like or non-trippy brownies or whatever. I don't know. Maybe in this timeline, Denise does figure out the paper towel dispenser. Like maybe things are just like have a butterfly effect. We don't know,
right?
Or maybe just some DP forgot that shit. Like
yeah,
could
I
always
had
be
a hard time no prizing that one as to like how the math worked on that. But anyway.
Anyway, we get to some other weird math because everyone is, the mail. We see the mailman deliver Evie her paper of her magazine of divorced female sheriffs weekly. And I love this too because Evie at this point should also not know about the plan, right?
Right.
Because we traveled back in time before the demon summoning, right?
Well, no, because we traveled back in time. I thought I was under the impression that we were traveling back in time right before that person whose eyeballs were died.
Wait.
That's
so,
what I would have thought too.
But that was still actually no, because then Evie would have only found that out afterwards anyway. So yeah, she still.
Wait, so
shouldn't
that's
know.
still after.
She wouldn't know, but Gordy,
See, I thought we were
demon.
operating. Oh, he came back to where the time the evil doppelganger showed up, and which was just the time to get. You know what? I'm very confused.
No, because that was the whole part of the riddle. Was like the first person part was the eyes. We had to get the eyes of that person to go back to when they died. That's why he has to go to get the grave to get Claire's eyes to go back right when she died to prevent it.
Okay,
but that only takes you back to the next morning after the seance.
Okay, so from my crazy time travel string theory board that we are now creating, I feel like the regular order of events does happen up until creating an evil doppelganger Stan.
Right.
And then he brings Fudge to drink water.
Theoretically.
But then he goes over to kill Gordy the mailman, but because Stan travels back into that time, he negates the curse because he solves the riddle thereby anytime he solves the riddle, it is solved in perpetuity from any time he time travels to, erasing doppelganger Stan at that point. And then having just hit, I'm done.
Time travel! Les, isn't this your wheelhouse? Solve this for us.
I can't. I really don't think the math adds up on this. Like,
I don't like this anymore.
There's a lot of strands, man. A lot of strands in the old duder's head.
Anyway, Stan is digging up his wife's grave because he's figured out that the secret to time travel is eyeballs.
Yep.
So all you need...
And he's basically dressed for battle and for traveling back in time. He's wearing a sheriff's outfit, which at first I was like, why is... He doesn't... Like we were talking the other day, like, those occasional reminders that, like, wait a minute, you don't work there.
Right.
But he's with the gun belt and all, and I was like, wait, you're planning to go back in time to a point where you were sheriff and you want to already look the part. It's like putting on the medieval garb before you time travel back to medieval times.
Right. And that's funny you mentioned that, Les, because that actually does come up later in a different way with Stan. That's pretty fun. And yeah, there is a whole thing where he's just like, I'm sorry, honey, and he goes for the eyes, and I was just like, that's a dark point to end the episode on.
Yep.
And I like that. That's the secret to time travel, guys. You just need the house that time travels and the right eyeballs.
Yep.
So, interesting. And I love the fact that apparently, so from what we understand from the time travel rules, he'd go back to the night Claire died. So how does he stop someone from having a heart attack during that time? Would be my question to you guys. What would your theory like? How would you guys go back and save Claire?
I don't know. Maybe he thinks that she didn't die from a heart attack. Maybe she got killed by a demon.
No, he knows that she died from a heart attack because that's what the coroner even said. And we know that the demon was there to instigate the heart attack, probably. And the doctors do later like you had a weaker heart, like that she didn't know about. Like there was a thing. Les, what would your strategy be going backwards in time?
I don't know. Go back an additional 15 years and take all the salt away from the pantry. I'm trying to think, like, how do you fix a heart attack? Like, can she go in for a stent? Like, none of these are short-term, quick solutions. I have no idea, like, what Stan's plan is. I was kind of going with what Travis said, that, like, Stan must have been assuming that it was something more nefarious than or a magical heart attack or some demon-induced thing. That, like, had the scare not happened, she wouldn't have, you know?
See, this is fun because I do know what happens next, and it is like, when I first watched it, I'm like, oh man, because I had the idea of like, he'll go back in time and realize it's impossible to save someone with a heart condition, and it'll be a real tragic episode, but I'm like, that doesn't sound like Stan Against Evil.
No, it doesn't.
That doesn't sound very fun.
No.
So that is not what happens. In fact, it's very interesting what does happen, but we'll have to get to that next week because we have reached the end of this episode, guys.
Dun, dun, dun.
Actually, let me borrow your eyes. Go back.
Oh my god. I had more I wanted to say at the beginning, Nick, so sorry about this. Oh my god, no. So, I feel like this is one of the first episodes in which I feel like I wanted more. I was actually like wishing this one was longer because I wanted to see more of John C. McGinley as Evil Stan.
Evil Stan was very interesting.
Man, he is entertaining as shit, and we only get to see him but so much.
Yeah.
And I thought like you guys that like, oh, he'll come back in the next one because we didn't kill him. But that is not that. I'm going to just shatter your dreams right now. That does not happen.
No, like I said, I just assumed that Duquette
disappointing
took him
for
away.
me.
Yeah, so that is a shame. So this is probably the last time we're going to see Evil Stan.
Mm-hmm.
So
I think it was just a condition of the riddle. It was like, okay, if you don't solve the riddle in time, this evil doppelganger will do something.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, how did we enjoy this one overall, guys?
It brought up a lot of questions, but overall it was fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I had a lot of fun with this episode. Like, I liked the gags. I feel like the show's really everybody's like a really tight knit group right now. It's like watching a comedy troupe at its peak. The only thing that bothered me was that the plan didn't quite work. Like their plan didn't work for me. I couldn't make it make sense, and so I really wanted more, or was thinking like, oh, cool, maybe this will be hung out there, and they'll have to deal with some of these ramifications later. But it doesn't sound like that happened. So it's like it just seems like either I missed something or they missed something, but that's frustrating. It's still a really fun episode that I just watched twice in a very short amount of time, but mostly just so I could sit there and like, man, did I miss a one-line explanation of how this riddle works?
Yeah.
But
boy, yeah, that's a interesting like thing. Like,
it's all worth it for that drink water scene, for the drink water brownies senior fudge scene though.
Yeah, the shame fudge.
Shame fudge is real.
Shame fudge is real, but we don't let it get us down.
We've all done it. I mean, don't let anyone tell you different. Oh God, I love Denise so much. So yeah, only one episode left, guys. Mm-hmm. One more. And it is a time travel one, so Les, unfortunately we have to pull you back into service.
On this. I was thinking about. I'm astonished that I only get 8 episodes of 20 minutes each of Stand Against Evil per season. But like every Marvel Netflix show is like 28 hours long or something. Mm-hmm. Of all the shows that I feel like I complain about pacing on, I want more of this show. I don't want them to be longer episodes. I think, I don't think it could, I don't want it to do an hour long form, but I want like the old school 22 episode seasons of Stand Against Evil. Like I want an old sitcom schedule for this. Like I could do 10 more of these per season. Seriously. Like they're just such fun.
We do get Buffy, and Buffy also had problems.
Yeah. I really don't want it to run into, like, I wouldn't want this to go into a longer form per episode. I just want more episodes than 8.
And we are working for more. Season 3 just wrapped up shooting.
3? Yes, drops on Halloween.
Yeah, it's to drop on Halloween. So as of this recording, it is wrapped up shooting, and I am very excited. You can go on to Stand Against Evil, like the official IFC page and stuff, and follow along for announcements for when season 3 will be up. But they've even dropped a whole synopsis for a bunch of episodes and guest stars and stuff, which is normally not when shows do that. It's like, we're in trouble. Pay
attention to us.
Big, the last PR push to get the show underneath us. So if we want more Stand Against Evil, we got to get those numbers up, guys. So watch once season 3 starts on IFC, Hulu will have the second season available also. So definitely give those views a watch as well.
And make other people watch it.
Or if you can't watch it, if you want to give Stand Against Evil as a gift, you buy it on Amazon and let people have that shit. It's a great time. I can't imagine you don't have any friends that like the Stand Against Evil or the Ash versus the Evil Dead show, and maybe they're sad it's gone. Show them this. Mm-hmm. This is exactly that track. So that's where it is, guys. With that, thank you guys so much for joining me for the Mirror Mirror episode. I am glad I got to do this with you guys here. Next time, well, maybe when we have a budget for season 3, I'll get actual evil doppelgangers in here, or at least fake goatees. We don't even have enough budget for that. But yes, Les, would you like to tell the people where they can find you and your content and your stuff?
Can be found on the tvdudes.com. Semi-weekly, every other week or so. Our episodes come out Friday. I also do interviews Monday and Wednesdays there with different actors and whatnot. Then I also am now working on season 2, which I'm dragged Nick into helping me with for The Good Die Young. So thegoodDieYoungTV.com. Right now it's still the Middleman season's up, and that's going to be archived there. And then the season 2 will be up here probably a few months, actually. But
and man, do I regret saying yes to that. I just recently did my homework for that show, and I was like, oh, of course I'll help Les out. I love recording with Les. That guy's great. And then I watched Les's show, and I'm like, oh God, no, that's right. Les likes these types of shows. And now my brain hurts. And now all I have are just random scratching of notes that look like they were written by an insane person.
The Magic Man. Yep, it's going to be good.
It's going to be a good time, guys. So definitely check the season 2 out for that, and check out the season 1 because Middleman's also a great show. If you love Stand Against Evil, you'll love Middleman. That's for sure. That's right up there your alley. That's the exact same kind of wavelength. But also, you can always follow us on our Twitter at Pod Against Evil, or on our Facebook at Pod Against Evil. And you can check us out there, as well as the Stand Against Evil fan page. Why not shout those guys out again? They're awesome. They like to retweet a bunch of our stuff, so we like to promote them as well. And they're a nice group of people that run that place. And of course, you can always just email us at podagainstevil@gmail.com if you have any questions or concerns, or just want to talk Stand Against Evil. Like maybe we missed something. Maybe the time travel makes complete sense, and we're just not thinking about it right. Send me a thesis. I want this to make sense to me.
Do you really want to read a time travel thesis, Nick?
Right, written by a fan, yeah. I want that, and I want to read some more just fan fiction, really. This and Stan and Evel Knievel actually did hook up at one point. Like maybe we get some Stan slash fic there. I mean, what's it? There's a whole category for fan fiction that's like twincest, right? Well, there's a whole evil doppelganger Stan thing that you can go to. So, Nick, poison my dreams, poison my nightmares.
You're asking for some dark things here.
Yeah, basically.
Please don't start a Wincest Stand Against Evil.
Well,
page.
I mean, it won't be as hot. I know it won't, but
because you're gonna get something even worse than you think you're gonna get, because you're gonna get like a Stan times Drinkwater fan fiction going on.
Ooh. Boy, man, that's a wrong sandwich.
See, you are going in a dark place.
That is some shame fudge. That is some shame fudge packing there.
Well, now you've ruined that euphemism.
Nope, it's bad. So yeah, I regret everything of that.
You should.
Travis, I need to guide your eyes out for a minute.
Makes me feel better about my shapeshifter complaints last time we recorded.
That's okay. I got a real call from shapeshifters. The Defamation League there. Mystique was super pissed. So, but it's okay. I told him that you're not normally like that. So, and you come from a different time. So
right.
there's
I legit have to bail. I got to take a call here in a second.
Thank God, because this was getting awkward to end here. So we will see you guys next week. And in the meantime, may the owls abide. See you later, Stan fans.